Why? 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 Why?
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an excellent day today. Bitcoin is down 3%. Altcoins are falling. What is happening? We haven't made an all-time high in a week. So you know what, guys? Pack it up. We're shorting it all the way down to $10,000. The game is over. We have fallen out of this pattern. No, guys, obviously I'm just kidding, but that is some of the sentiment that you're now hearing. Bitcoin hasn't made an all-time high in 1 week. It must be the top. It must be over. Well, I'm going to let you know what I think is happening right now. Keep in mind, it is the weekend. We do see these crazy price fluctuations on the weekend, and we know that Mondays are always a very big surprise for the crypto community. Last weekend, we actually hit the all-time high and then dumped. This weekend, we're actually falling down. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the inverse within 24 hours. So I'm going to let you know exactly what is going on right now, what I'm doing, my targets, and if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, well, definitely consider it. Today's video is going to be super quick. In fact, I wasn't even going to make a video today, but because everyone is very concerned about the recent price action, I figured I would just give you guys an update and let you know exactly where we are standing in this market. So if that sounds good, you know, and if you're not subscribed, I definitely said that twice already, but you know the drill. Having a look right here, well, if we have a look at this right now, you will notice that we are trying to push back up on this $57,000 level, right? It is a little bit of resistance as it was the support before, but having a look right here, you could see that we did fall out of this wedge. Now, having a look at the 1 hour, it's really not always the greatest to zoom in on these super low time frames because you see all kinds of crazy patterns, crazy things happening, right? For example, you know, we could move this right here and we could just say, oh, we're still just consolidating in an asymmetrical triangle. And yeah, we have to, you know, come all the way to the end here before having the breakout. So that's why it's always smart to zoom out a little bit, look at the bigger picture, see what's happening. If we actually zoom out, you will see, once again, you cannot make this up, guys. If you've been watching this channel, you know that I've talked about the significance of the 21 exponential on the daily. In fact, I've had people reach out to me and say, thank you so much. This has been the absolute easiest strategy to trade this market. And you can see right here, we actually didn't touch it, but we did respect it and we did have that bounce. So as long as we're staying above this line, it's extremely bullish for Bitcoin. In fact, you could see we've actually dipped below it twice during this bull run, only to actually have it become support and bounce back off it again. So until we absolutely lose this and start reversing the trend and going the other way, there's absolutely no reason for me to be bearish short term. In fact, I think what's happening is accumulation. I think we're seeing whale games. We're seeing suppression of the price so that they can accumulate at these levels, right? You don't want to just send the price absolutely skyrocketing because then you're going to have a massive panic. And also keep in mind, you don't want, you know, parabolic runs in markets without having the cool off. I would be more worried if Bitcoin just kept going up and 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 never came down and never had that sort of reaccumulation cool off period. This to me is a healthy market. You have your ebbs and your flows, right? We have our ups and our downs. And as long as we're, you know, mostly just following this trend, then the trend is your friend. We're putting in higher highs and higher lows. If you guys want to learn how to trade this, definitely check out my tutorial on Bybit. $200 extra on top of the $600 bonus if you use the link below. We have the tutorial popping up above. Check that out if you're interested. Also, make sure you get subscribed to the channel, turn on the bell notifications, because as you can see right here, we haven't changed these lines at all. And on top of the fact that we had the 21 exponential, look at where we had the bounce so far, perfectly on this ascending wedge. And remember what I said yesterday? People said, oh, this is a bearish pattern. This means that Bitcoin has to dump. No, it doesn't, guys. You got to stop thinking traditional. Bitcoin is its own beast. It doesn't do what the traditional, you know, charting analysis, you know, whatever you want to call them, you know, experts say. It's essentially in a bull run. And like I said, if you have a bullish pattern, it is bullish. If you have a neutral pattern, it is bullish. If you have a bearish pattern, it's neutral because we're in an uptrend, right? So the probability of breaking to the upside is always higher. And you can see right here, we had a perfect perfect retest right here. And you want to know what I did, guys? I actually added to my long at this levels. I actually doubled my long. I now have I think it's 3.6 million open right now at this level right here. And I'm not looking to close this until minimally Bitcoin hits at least 68,000. I do think we'll have a little bit of resistance right here at around 62,300. We might see a little bit of shakeout there again, but I think we're going higher in this wedge. And also, if you want to just see an example, all the way back in 2017, look at this giant ascending wedge we had put in starting in July of 2017. Look at this. We touched the top, we came to the bottom. Top, we came to the bottom. So this was from July of 2017 all the way to this bottom of November 11th of 2017. And people said, forget about it. We're going to fall. It's a giant ascending wedge. The market top is over. And guess what, guys? From the bottom touch to the top of the market, we actually had Bitcoin pump 257% from that point, almost 260%. So when you go back here and you have a look at what we're doing right now, what makes this any different, guys? If we were to come down here to the level that we just touched and go up 260%, you're talking a Bitcoin target of around $200,000, actually $195,000. So that could potentially be the cycle peak. That might be where we might want to start really considering, taking some profits off the table. But essentially, I am not getting bearish on this move. I think this is a healthy ebb and flow, a healthy retest, and people that are freaking out right now, maybe you're just new to the markets. I understand these types of moves can be scary. Also, it might be a little bit boring, right? It just seems like we're going sideways. But actually, that's a strategy as well, right? To bore people, to make them just tired of looking at the charts. Nothing's happening. Nothing's going on. It's got to be over, right? But in the meantime, you have all this accumulation, right? Just whales buying a little bit, buying a little bit, buying a little bit. And that's how they don't move the prices, but they accumulate, right? It's a very simple strategy. In fact, yesterday I showed you that Byzantine General had been pointing out Bitfinex still unloading, serious short interest on Deribit, BitMEX and FTX, open interest finally unwinding though. And he essentially said right here, the market isn't bearish. This was so obviously an orchestrated move, just whales making a play. And yet there's still some people out there that think that this is bearish. Like, obviously, if you're new, this is what happens in the markets. Now, is there a possibility, just because I always like to entertain the possibility, some people say, oh, you don't want to be over moon boy, right? You're too moonish. Okay, fine. Let's talk about the possibility, a broader ascending wedge, right? So we have been respected by the center line or the heart line or whatever you want to call it. So let's say I'm totally wrong and we just totally get rejected and Bitcoin dumps. Well, we still could even come down here to the bottom of this level, retesting the low 50,000s, 50 to 51,000, and still be putting in an uptrend. You see what I'm trying to say right here? And then this would just be putting in a giant wedge. So the more you move out, the more you zoom out, the better you get the picture. But all Bitcoin is doing is just bouncing around, right? If we actually go back here super quick, you can kind of see that, in this previous pump, when we got up to 42,000, right? Bitcoin came up. We had a sort of a double top. We went sideways, and then we had a big drop, right? So what if we're doing something bigger, right? We have the double top, we go sideways, and then drop. That is a possibility. That would be somewhat of a fractal. But the biggest difference between the last time and this time is that the last time we did it, we had put in a lower top. You see, we were sloping down, whereas here, we're putting in a higher top. So this, to me, is telling me that the trend is a lot stronger than the previous time that we had this potential fractal. So hopefully that helps to clear everything up. Like I said, I just wanted to make a quick video to let you guys know what I'm doing, let you guys know that I'm not bearish at all. And Parabolic Trav, he said one scenario possibly is, maybe we do just trend sideways for another week and bore the hell out of everybody. And if we actually go here, there actually would be that room to go sideways. We have a lot of distance between 55,000 and 63,000. There's a lot of room to just bounce around in this channel for a while, right? So that is a possibility. So what are some other reasons? Well, I've heard the fact that high U.S. Treasury yields are causing risk on markets to slump. Do I 100% agree with this? I think it could have a factor in it. I'm not too sure. For example, they say when the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield rises, the appetite for risk on asset tends to drop because investors can seek safer yield-generating alternatives in Treasury bonds. Although Bitcoin has not seen tight correlation with the Dow Jones, it has seen close correlation with tech heavy indexes like the S&P 500. So this suggests that the strong momentum of US Treasury bonds is leading risk-on assets to stagnate, bringing down Bitcoin's momentum in tandem. The US Treasury yields began to break out above key levels starting March 19th. Since then, Bitcoin has been consolidating, struggling to rise above 60,000. For Bitcoin to see a sustainable rally, it needs to see a favorable macro landscape, which would only be possible through the stabilization of US Treasury yields. But also at the same time, we were hitting resistance. So, people show me the charts, I'll tell you the news, right? People want to always come up with a reason for why something is happening. Why is Bitcoin dumping? Why is it going sideways? At the end of the day, this is just healthy market structure, building lower high, building a base, setting up for the next leg up. And I'm telling you, in my experience in Bitcoin, these are the calms before the storm. These boring times where we go sideways and down and people think that's it and they consider selling and they stop watching crypto videos or they stop looking at charts or they stop reading about, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Usually that tells me that within the next week, we're having a massive move. And I personally think that move is going to be to the upside, regardless of whether or not we have a shakeout, fake out before that, right? So another thing I want to talk about super quick before we go is just the fact that we are seeing so much interest in getting involved in crypto, institutions, crypto custodians, right? People don't want to hold their own keys, unfortunately. And you can see right here, you had digital asset custodian Fireblocks raising $133 million in a Series C fund that was led by tech-focused investment manager Coatue, Ribbit Capital, and Stripes. According to Fireblocks blog post, BNY Mellon and Silicon Valley Bank are the high-profile institutional investors behind the mega investment. So why are they raising all these funds and why are people investing if they don't see the future in crypto custodial solutions, if they don't see the need for this, if it's just a bubble, right? You have to kind of read between the lines here. Fireblocks targets massive expansion to broaden its reach. In its scaling process, the company intends to seal and maintain strategic partnerships with premier financial institutions to, quote, support their transformation and service the market horizontally for cryptocurrency needs. And like Robert Kiyosaki said, and I think this is sort of a good area to end, millions are very happy that the government passed the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill. Who wouldn't be happy with free money? Problem is, free money makes poor and middle class poorer. Buy more gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And anyone who says money doesn't make you happy is a sick puppy who has never been broke. Money is a drug. It makes people happy. The problem is that the drug wears off and people get unhappy. Buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin, real money, and stay happy. Not to mention, guys, NASA, if you don't remember, they did find this potential asteroid that is loaded with precious metals and gold, more than the global economy. So we do know that, gold has worked for 5,000 years. It's not exactly the greatest store of value. It works somewhat, but we do know that Bitcoin is digital gold 2.0. I'm not going to go into the Bitcoin narratives again. I think that's enough. Let's keep today's video nice and short. Go out, enjoy yourself, stop looking at the charts if you need to, but there's absolutely no reason to get bearish on Bitcoin, even if we do have another boring consolidation. I do anticipate the next breakout will be massive. We will see another big green candle on the weekly, maybe even on the monthly, and I'm looking at that $68,000 to $72,000 target before I would start, getting concerned again about another major leg down. So if that sounds good to you guys, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Turn on the bell notification, get subscribed, join the free Telegram group. Don't forget, we have thousands of bonuses below in the description. Femex tutorials as well. You can check that out popping up above. Also, you can go below. There's $200 for Bybit, $800 total, $200 for Femex, and we also have a 50% for Prime XBT. So if you deposit one Bitcoin, they will literally give you half a Bitcoin to use for trading and fees. So check all that out below in the description. And if you haven't seen these videos popping up right here, right now, check them out. My name's K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.